What that pussy tastes like, I forgot. I need a redo. Bitch, get out of my fucking... Stop it, okay? Ask my husband. How about that? Hey y'all, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. As you can see, today we have a question and answer video. About a week ago, I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram, and I'm gonna post my Instagram right here. If you're not following me, make sure that you are at yasminebianca_. I asked you guys to ask me questions no matter what it was about: love life, business, education, sex, whatever, school, career, whatever it was, to ask me questions. And you guys sent me questions, and I'm super excited to get into the tea, you guys. You guys are gonna learn a little bit more about me in this video, and we're just gonna sit back and talk and have a good time. So go ahead and keep watching. While you're at it, make sure you cut on that notification bell, you guys, so you can get notified every single time I drop a new video. And yeah, just keep watching. All right, y'all, so let's get into the very first question. Before I start, I'm not going to reveal the names of the people who asked me these questions. I had some really ignorant questions asked on my Instagram, so I'm not gonna reveal the person behind the ignorance. I'm just going to basically read the question. So, okay, here we go. The very first question that someone asked me on my Q&A was, how'd you stay busy or kept positive waiting for your husband to come? Love you. Love you too, honey. Basically, at that time in my life, I really was praying and wanting a husband, somebody to share all of the awesome and amazing experiences I was, living and sharing. At this time, I was actually overseas in Afghanistan. If you didn't know, I did, work in Afghanistan for 3.5 years. And so that's actually where I met my husband. And at the time that I met him, I was not looking for anybody, actually. I was just kind of minding my own business and super involved in work and keeping busy and just staying busy. And so I wasn't really like down and out or like, dang, I really want a man. What I was doing though was I was praying that God prepare me to be a wife. A lot of times we want to have a man and have a relationship and have a boyfriend or get a husband, but sometimes we don't always know how to be, the wife, or how to be the girlfriend, or how to be the friend. So I was asking that God just kind of prepare my heart. And I was also studying and meditating on the word, and just, I knew that God was going to deliver. I mean, he always does, but there were times where I was being impatient, but I would just, try to calm myself and just, just wait, just wait, because what he has in store for you, kind of like psych myself up, like, because I know what he has in store for me, honey, is going to be bigger, better than anything, anything. So that's what I did. And in your waiting time, in between time, my mom used to always say this. She used to say, occupy until he comes. And so I would just pray. I would pray that God prepare me. I would study up on what love actually was. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is forgiving. It doesn't brag. It doesn't boast. I was trying to be all of those things. And now that I am actually a wife, it's still a learning process. My husband and I have grown tremendously in the 3 years that we have been together. We have grown so much. What I will say about marriage is that it is extremely rewarding. Just watching you guys grow together and how you learn how to love each other and learn yourself. Being married, you really learn who you really are at your core. I felt like I knew who I was before, but when you get married, you really know who you know who you are. So, and you grow so much and you learn so much. So that's kind of how I try to stay positive. I just kept praying, and I am a person of big faith. So I kept praying, and I was like, Lord, send me my Boaz, But at the same time, I was praying to God that he prepare me and position my heart to be in a relationship, because again, you know, like it takes two, and you have to be prepared. We may want these things and we ask for them, and sometimes we may get them and we may not really be ready to handle it. So that's how I kept positive. I always sought to better myself, to check the position of my heart all the time. And I'm still, you know, that's something I'm still working on. Every day I strive and I have to check myself and, you know, check my character and see where my heart and my mind is, you know. So those are some of the things and how I stayed positive while I was waiting on my husband. And he came, honey, and I was not like looking or anything. It just happened. And, you know, it happened suddenly, to be honest.
It hit me like a tidal wave. Knew that I was in love with you right away.
That song, Janae Aiko, New Balance. I just love that song. That's like our song. I replayed that song over and over and over again when we got together, like, because it really did like just come like out of nowhere. And I wasn't expecting it. It wasn't like, I don't know, like when you find your man, you're gonna know that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I kept positive. And I kept busy. I threw myself into work and all that. Very good question. All right, on to the next question. Hey boo, hey girl. How much to start an online business and branding? So for my business, you guys know I have my website, www.yasminebianca.com. It's Yasmine Bianca Cosmetics. Right now I have hair, lashes, phone cases, accessories, you know what I mean? Like purses, stuff like that kind of just complement any outfit. And so basically I do have an LLC, and my LLC is inclusive of my YouTube channel. So everything, any kind of expense that I have, I write it off up under my LLC. So that is kind of like, you know, major key right there, a little tidbit, you know, a little bait for you, honey. If you have a YouTube channel associated with your LLC, so it's a tax write-off, so you can benefit in some way from it. Anyway, so basically, what was the question again? How much? So in my case, my LLC is a veteran-owned LLC, so it was free of charge. However, if you are somebody who's not affiliated with the military or the service, then I would say a LLC costs you about $200 to $300. And what I would recommend is not going to LegalZoom. What I would recommend is going to whatever state you're in, the secretary of whatever that state it is, and filing your LLC paperwork by yourself, by hand. If you need help, there's so many phone numbers online. You do not need to use LegalZoom. LegalZoom charges you way more than what you really should be paying, okay? So I would just recommend you contact your Secretary of State, and then they'll give you the paperwork and send you the paperwork or point you in the right direction of what paperwork you need, how to send it in, how much it is. And again, they range from like $200 to $400 depending on what type of business you're registering and depending on the state that you're in. So as far as branding, you know, I branded myself basically. I went to Vistaprint a lot for my stuff. Another resource that I used was Fiverr, Fiverr.com. If you need a logo, if you need a YouTube banner, if you need an intro, an outro, if you need a website, whatever the case may be, Fiverr has all of these awesome, you know, shmees, what I call shmees, which is a subject matter expert on what you're looking for. They'll be able to help you if you want, if you have a vision for your website, a vision for anything, graphic design, t-shirts, whatever it is, they can help you on Fiverr. And depending on what you get, you know, there will be a price associated with it. But I will advise you guys, before you go to Fiverr, just know that a lot of times Fiverr, people behind, you know, the accounts and stuff on Fiverr, they are from different countries. So they could be from like India or China or Russia or whatever. So don't give out your personal information. Be as limited and like, don't be detailed about whatever your personal stuff is. Just keep it all business, okay? So another part of your business and branding is you have to have your product. So whatever your product is, you have to have, you know, inventory. You have to have things to sell or whatever it is depending on your business. So basically, business and branding, it really varies. I mean, if you want to go super big, it could cost you $100,000 to launch your business. If you're a small business owner like me and you trying to do stuff, off of your regular salary or whatever, then you got to take it piece by piece. Well, this month, I'm going to get my LLC. Next month, I'm going to get my website. Next month, I'm going to get my business cards. Next month, Vistaprint got a sale. I'm going to go hit that up. Like, you got to get it piece by piece. And then even with your inventory. So for me, I get stuff wholesale because I have a wholesale license, and it does I think my wholesale license was free, or maybe it was like $50, like it was something really cheap. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but you do need to get a wholesale license if you do plan on getting things wholesale, because that's how you take advantage of the wholesale pricing. You have to have a wholesale license. And some companies will allow you to purchase things wholesale without having a license, but those legit companies that are like have been in trade for years and centuries, they will require you to have your wholesale license. So, your website, your LLC, your wholesale license, your marketing, and all that. I mean, it really can be expensive, but you can kind of, space it out and sort it out. I really don't have an exact answer to that because it's going to vary depending on what type of business you're creating. If you're just going to, be a cosmetologist and do hair, or if you're going to be a barber, then it may be different than somebody who has an e-commerce online business. So, but for me, like my very first inventory pickup was like $10,000 just for me to get the minimum order quantity. And it's crazy because some of these big time vendors overseas, they require a minimum order quantity. So even though you may not have all of the like sales and stuff like that, you still have to come up with that money up front. And then, as time goes on and you sell and you market and you brand yourself, then people start buying your products. So it really just depends on, what you're trying to do. But that is a really good question. I wish it was a little bit more specific. Like, tell me what kind of business you're trying to start. And then maybe I can pinpoint it and kind of tell you. But those main things, the LLC, the wholesale license, stuff like that are basically the foundation for any business. Okay? All right, on to the next question. What that pussy tastes like, I forgot. I need a redo. Bitch, get out of my fucking... Stop it, okay? Ask my husband. How about that? Next question. How do you feel about the state of the U.S. right now? You guys. It's really so unfortunate and so sad that we're going through a time like this in the world. 30,000 people dead. That's just... just when I think about it, what I think about the state of the world right now, it's in a fucking shithole. We're in a place of hurt. We're in a place of desperation. We need God. We need a leader who loves God and who seeks God's counsel. I feel like everything rises and falls off of leadership, and our leadership is depicting the state of where we are right now. We're in a state filled with anxiety, chaos, strife, uncertainty, loss, grieving. We're in a very, very dark place in this world right now, and I do think a lot of it is in part to our leader, Donald Trump, for him having known about this ever since November 2019, and him not taking it serious, and to not do any proactive, or preventative measures to prevent this coronavirus here in the United States. It's just messed up. It really is messed up. And to know that a lot of people's lives could have been saved, it's hurtful. And we're in a very hurt state. But one of the things that I pray for as a believer is that no matter what's going on around me, that I could still have peace. Me and my husband, our family can have peace in our heart. Like, I just pray that we still continue to have peace on the inside. You know what I mean? Because once that chaos and all that stuff just gets inside of you, honey, it's just not a good thing. So that's what I think about the state that we're currently in this world. And I pray for the USA. I really hope that we can get past this. I know we can get past this because, you know, God has delivered China. I know God will deliver us as well. But I just really feel bad for everybody who is hurting right now and who has lost a loved one or, you know, lost their own life because of this, something that could have been prevented. So I also think that a lot of this has to do with politics. I think it would be funny that this would happen during the re-election year. How coincidental that it would happen during the re-election year. But that's what I think about that. I don't want to make this video sad, but rest in peace to anybody who knows anybody who was affected by this tumultuous virus. Next question. Someone asked, scale 1 to 10, how hard to put on lashes? Lashes are so easy for me to put on now. I guess because I've been putting on lashes for years. But in the beginning, you know, it was a little challenge, you know, like, so I would say if you're a beginner, it was probably like a 4 or 5 scale to put on lashes in like difficulty. But if you're somebody who's like seasoned like me, who puts on lashes almost every day, then it's like a 0. Because now all I do is just pop them on, honey. Like, it's too freaking easy. Just practice. Practice makes perfect. I mean, that's with anything. The more you do it, the quicker you get. And the next thing you know, bam, you'll be putting them on in 2 seconds, honey. 0.5 seconds, honey, that lash is on. Okay? So just practice. It's not really that hard. So yeah, just practice. That's a good question. Next question. What are your short-term and long-term goals? Okay, so short term is to grow my channel from 6,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers. I'm also working on losing weight. Within these next 6 weeks, I'm on a rigorous fitness and diet program called the Heat Challenge. I'm trying to get down. Another short-term goal is for me to go ahead and pay for my PMP application and actually get it scheduled. I do want to go ahead and knock that out. I had already did my application and it got approved, so I'm ready to knock this out. I've been talking about it for years. It's time to go ahead and put my money where my mouth is and get this PMP. I also have some short-term financial goals that I'm working on, my husband and we are knocking those out. I'm so happy and excited about that. Long term, I'm looking to have children. My husband and I are both excited to have children. Just health, you know, overall health and wellness for him and I both. Another one of my long-term goals is for my dad to move down here from Alabama. I do want a new car. I've been driving my car since 2012, y'all. I definitely want a new car. I don't know if I guess that is going to be in the long term, not anytime soon. I do want to keep traveling, but you know, with all the stuff that's going on, it's going to be kind of hard to travel. What else? You know, to continue to grow spiritually and professionally and career-wise and health-wise, and, you know, find my passions and grow my business as well. Increase my revenue on my business. That's always a goal. You know, increase the number of wig orders that I get each month. Things like that. Perfect my craft and learn and grow. And, you know, just, you know, do better. Overall, just do better. Next question. If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? If I couldn't just pick one place. I would definitely go to Bali, and I would definitely go to Jamaica. You know, I've been wanting to go to Jamaica for years. I just want to go, like, I want to go to the Dunn's Waterfall, the Dunn's River Waterfall. I want to eat some jerk chicken. I just want to have those island vibes, honey. I want to be around the dark-skinned people of color, honey. I want to eat some good food. I want to be where there's palm trees and clear waters and pretty tropical fish. Like, I really, really, really want to do that. But with everything going on, then, you know, I guess I have to wait. Good question, though. Wishful thinking. Okay, next question. How did you find the right vendors for your hair, jewelry, and lashes? How did I find the right vendors? I use Instagram to find a few of my vendors, to be honest. I use Instagram a lot. I also use the internet, and I searched for raw Indian hair vendors on Google. That's how I found them. And I use WhatsApp a lot to communicate with them because a lot of them are overseas. So I use WhatsApp, Instagram, Google. I did find one of my vendors actually on eBay. I'm not going to tell you which one. But there's so many resources, you guys, to find products and like business tools. It's really sickening. Like, if you want to look something up, if you want to do something, look it up, research it. You'll find it. It's so easy. Like, all of the information is really out there on the World Wide Web. So easy to find. But, of course, with every vendor that you get, every potential vendor, you have to go through a QA. If you have established your business processes, you'll go through a quality assessment of your products. You want them to be right. You want them to be a certain way. If you get hair from India, you want to make sure it doesn't have any lice. You want to make sure, you know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure all these things are in order before you offer it to your clients, because it is a representation of who you are as a person. So yeah, that's how I found all of my vendors and stuff. I just researched, and I did not buy anything like, oh, you want to buy my vendor and all that. No, I did everything from scratch. I did. It's more rewarding that way. It does take a little bit more practice and a little bit more struggle. And sometimes it can even lead you on an emotional roller coaster, because you could feel like, oh, I got it. I finally got it. But then you get the hair, you get whatever it is, and it's not quite what you wanted, or it's almost there, but it's not you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard. Like, it was 2 years before I found my raw Indian vendor. So yeah. Next question is, what questions did you ask the vendors or yourself to ensure that they were a good fit? That is an excellent question. Depending on what it was, the most intensive type of investigating that I had to do was with my raw Indian vendor. First of all, you're talking to somebody through a language barrier because they really don't know how to speak English that well. Some of them do, some of them don't. But the questions that I would ask them were, on your frontal, are the knots double or single, knotted? Is it transparent lace? Is it HD lace? Is it Swiss lace? The hair, does it come from one person or does it come from multiple people? Is it unilateral? Is it thick from the top to the bottom? What's the density of the hair? Is the density consistent throughout? Is there any lice in the hair? Has there been any chemical treatments to the hair? Because if there was a chemical treatment, then that means the hair is not virgin. Virgin is unprocessed hair. And, do they steam the hair, to make it straight or wavy? How do they get the hair to look how it does? What's their process for, most of the hair in India is like temple hair. So is it coming from a young girl or an older woman? That has a direct effect on the quality of the hair. Those are some of the questions that I asked. And that came from constantly finding vendors and finding people. And, one after another, I would think that, okay, this is it, I got the hair, but then I would color it and then it wouldn't lift right. Or damn, I finally got the hair, and I got a frontal, and then like the frontal, the knots was thick as hell on the frontal. And I'm like, God damn. So one advice that I will have is that I continue to see in the hair industry is that a lot of people have different vendors for different things. So you may have a vendor for your frontals, you may have a vendor for your closures, you may have a vendor for your HD lace, and you may have a separate vendor for your Swiss lace. You may have a vendor for your bundles that's different from the vendor from your closures. So a lot of the stuff is a la carte, because I noticed that, like, I feel like I can't find one company or one vendor that's good at every single goddamn thing. I just can't. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Very good question, honey. Next question. Is Shanae your only sissy? I'm not answering that, okay? Anyway, next question. Actually, I have all the rest of them are pretty much just comments. I wish you all good. Hey, fire page, keep it up. Just to let you know, I really enjoy your posts. Yeah, those were the rest of the questions. Let me me see. Oh, I want to know your skin regimen. This is the last question. So, my skin regimen, as you guys know, I have a video on my Murad. I will link it right here. I love Murad. I swear by it. But right now what I'm using is La Mer. It's kind of like a, like a high class type of skincare thing. But I do want to give this disclaimer that I do not have bad skin. My skin, I've never really had problem skin. So it just depends on what type of skin you have. So for the lower budget, I would recommend Aveeno. I love Aveeno. For the mid-class budget, like you kind of want to spend, but you don't really want to spend, I would recommend Clinique. They have a 1, 2, 3 step where they test your skin to see if you're oily, dry, combination, or whatever it is, and they give you your specific skincare routine. It's a 1, 2, 3 step. Or you can do Murad. Murad also has that skin test thing, and they can prescribe you basically based on your skin type what kind of skin treatment that you need. I was using the acne version, and I felt like that was just too harsh for my skin. I feel like it was drying me out. Like I really did not need all, something so harsh, because I never really had acne. I don't even know why I was using it, to be honest. It was just too aggressive for my skin. So the Murad is kind of like a mid-range, mid-price. And then the La Mer is like a Saks Fifth Avenue. It is like $95 per bottle. But with my little skincare system, like I'm able to volumize the amount of product. Like I only need 1 pump. But I will say at the basis of every skincare regimen, whatever it might be, is feeding your body the right things. Like I never realized, I guess because I'm getting older, like really what you put into your body, what you eat, what you drink, whatever it is, even what you put into your mind has a direct effect on how your skin is gonna look. So all throughout the day, I drink lemon water. Right now I'm actually drinking an energy drink with lemon in it, but I always incorporate lemon into my drinks, and I drink a lot of water. Water just helps you, makes you feel good. You don't have any headaches when you're drinking your water. You feel hydrated, you're good to go. I love water. Speaking of which, but yeah, any drink that I drink, I always have lemons in it. And lemons are high in vitamin C, so that's really good for your health. So just make sure you're drinking a lot of water, because, honey, you can use the most expensive type of skincare system, honey, and still have an ugly, messed up face. So basically, I'm just saying that because, like, seriously, a lot of people, they think that beauty is in your skin. It's really not. It's really in your heart. Whatever is on the inside of your heart will radiate outward. So don't worry too much about your skin. Treat your body right, eat the right foods, drink the right drinks, and your skin will be just fine. You can get some Aveeno from Walmart. It doesn't have to be anything super expensive. I guess, as I'm getting older, I'm not so much concerned about vanity anymore, how things look. I just want to feel good. So, just do what makes you feel good. Drink whatever makes you feel good, which should be water. Eat the right things, and you should be good. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. This is actually my second time recording this video, so if I'm a little out of breath or I look a little irritated, I had to record this baby twice today, okay? And this is a lot of freaking work. Anyways, I'm so glad you guys appreciate my content. Let me know in the comments what you think about some of these answers. If you have any feedback or want to talk and discuss anything further, let me know in the comments. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching.